right, guys, today is Monday, December 10th, 2018. It is Money Monday. We are back. We are fired up. We're on Tradecaster, and I'm so excited to be diving into this recap and lesson. What we have going on right now is UXI to the N. This play so far has been the best penny stock top gainer today. This stock right now is currently up 23%, sitting right around that 576 mark. The stock is looking good with an average volume of 1.1 million, and right now it has 9.7. So it is way higher than our average. And this stock so far has been just an overall great play. The float on this play is 8 million. That's what Yahoo Finance has it as. UXIN, I believe, on Trade Ideas is a little bit higher, which always gets a little bit confusing. But this stock still has a lot of big potential to possibly go on its next leg on up. Right now, guys, what are we seeing? We're inside of a channel, and we are building a little bit of higher lows. So UXIN, I would say right now, wait until about 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we could easily see this thing come back down towards around 565, U-shape back on up, one touch, two touch, three touch, breakout right around 11. That's what I'm possibly thinking right here on UXIN. But we are inside of a channel at this time. If it ever falls below 560, the stock's basically done with for a little bit. Could possibly come on up. The best bet is if it can stay inside this channel, form that third touch U-shape pattern, and then break out. We'll talk about this, coming up in the near future. But with that being said, what do we have, guys? With that being said, on UXIN, why did the stock break out? Why did the stock rip? Why did the stock take on off? Right? Every single day, I want to make sure that you guys are getting this credibility and understanding why these stocks are making moves, why these stocks are getting these rips, and why these stocks are, having the attention towards it. Not only should you guys do this for the educational purposes, but you guys should also do this for what? To gain confidence. Because the more you learn, the more you guys know, the more confident you guys will be, right? It's the same exact thing as studying for your calculus test if you're in high school or your, Western civilizations test in college or whatever it is, right, guys? If you guys don't know anything, what do? You go into that test sitting down and saying, I have no idea what the heck I'm doing, right? You sit down and you say to yourself, I have no idea what the heck I am doing. My parents are going to absolutely kill me. I don't know what's going on, right? So if you studied though, you studied up throughout the whole entire night, what do you guys know then? You guys know, hey, I'm going to sit down. Oh, I know that question. Oh, I know that question. Oh, I'm going to ace this. This is easy, right? Right. The worst is like after you guys take a test and you sit down and like everyone's like, oh, what'd you guys get for like number three? It's like, oh, I had 11. It's like I had 14. It's like what? I had George Washington. It's like what? And everyone's completely messed up. So every single day, make sure you guys go through your recaps and figure out why the top gainers are top gainers. So UXIN right here, why did this stock become a top gainer? Does it have any sort of news? What I always like to look for, does the stock have any sort of news or does the stock have a chart set up? Well, I look at UXIN and I could see, right here 3 days ago, it has some news, but there's not really anything that's really jumping out this morning. There's nothing really that's getting any sort of crazy hype, this morning from any sort of press releases. So then I say to myself, okay, UXIN, it must be from its chart setup, and I could see from the past 2 days UXIN has been getting some great hype, right? From the past 2 days, UXIN did go from 325 all the way up to 485. Then on Friday, the stock went from $4 back up to 485. And then today we have a little bit of, some movement right at the start of the day. So I start saying to myself, okay, UXIN is starting to move on up. Let's look for a 20 count on this play. And this is what I also wrote out in our morning newsletter, right? I wrote out right in our morning newsletter today. Good morning. We're on TradeCast today. Yada, yada, yada. The best strategy today is to wait for the 10 a.m. breakout. Once we see a clear mob shift, we'll be able to spot out the best gainer today rather easy. Or we could watch for a 20 count on the high of the day momentum scanner as well. Let's have a great day. So basically what we did right here, guys, it was just look for that 20 count. And what is a 20 count? We have the high of the day momentum scanner right here, right? And the high of the day momentum scanner is customized by Dekmar trades, and we get to pick up every single stock inside our price range that is between 25 cents and $25 that hits a new high of the day. Okay. So with that being said, every time we hit a high of the day, it pops up right here. 1, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, whatever, yada, yada, yada. It keeps on going on up. So what we usually like to look for is the first low float play that hits a 20 count. That means the stock has hit 20 high of the days. It's a low float stock. It's usually a clear indicator that that's where the mob is at. So what we have here is we're keeping on going, like I'm moving our way on up through this thing a little bit, and we still again 1, 2, 4, 3, no clear cut play yet, no clear cut where the mob is at. Nope. So 1, 2, we got close to the 7, 8. Again, we still want to be looking for good chart setups and nice low float plays. And we got HX starting to move a little bit. That's at around a 7, 6 million float. Okay, let's keep it on 9, 6 million float. Okay, what else? DOMO. DMO, yes, DMO is going to be the first one that hits a 20 count, but it's also again much more expensive at $21 per share. It's also 18 million in float, so it's a lot bigger. On top of that, okay, here's UXIN. Here it's the first time it comes up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. Okay, hey, UXIN's on my watch list. And I also have what else on my watch list? Kind of HX. That's on my watch list as well. Kind of low float 20 counts. Okay, what's going on here now? Okay, well, we have DMO, which is again first 20 count play, but it's a little bit fatter. So it's not really number one concern. 14, 15, 16, 17 on UXIN, 19 on UXIN. UXIN basically at a 20 count. At what price, guys? At what price? 477 right here is when we got our first 20 count. Boom. Right? So with that being said, we're picking up our 20 counts right around this 477, 479, 480, and we could see this is where the mob's at. This right here is where the attention's at. This right here is where the hype is going to be at on this play. And this is where ultimately we can look for an easy buy on this play. Just looking for this 20 count, right? So the 20 count high of the day momentum scanner is, an absolutely beautiful thing right here on the fact that this is going to be able to tell us exactly where the mob's at a very early price. That's what I put in the morning newsletter. Let's look for a 20 count. We also said, hey, let's just watch the high of the day momentum scanner and just wait for that easy 20 count play. And we know that's where the majority of the hype's going to be and how this stock is going to get that nice rip, that nice run. So, I mean, UXIN, this is where the mob went to. The mob, we went to a lesson on this, guys. The mob is what we call the majority of penny stock traders. There's, traders all over the world. There's thousands to millions of traders. But when we're talking about the penny stock world, the penny stock traders, a lot of these traders, guys, are just greedy little traders that just want to make more and more money, right? So everyone wants to make more and more money. And how do you make money in the stock market? You find out what's the best ripper, what's the best play. And in the penny stock world, usually that's determined by us, the people. The stocks that moving up a little bit, guess what? People say, hey, I want to buy that play. And then someone else, I want to buy that play. I want to buy that play. I want to buy that play. Everyone keeps buying that play. Guess what happens? The stock, starts going on a nice rip. So the 20 count high of the day momentum strategy shows us an easy way to figure out where those greedy people are. It shows us where that kind of mindset on what certain stock of people saying, oh, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that. And we find it at a very early area, such as 477, before the stock rips all the way up towards around this 590 mark. Right. So that's an absolutely great thing as well. Now, again, if you guys want to get your own scanner, you guys can do that as well. If you guys want to go over to dekmartrades.com and you guys can go ahead and pick up some of these scanners if you guys would like to, your own high of the day momentum scanner, go ahead and check that out. So you guys are all good and you'll be able to have the same exact layout that I have right here. So UXIN, this play starts breaking up. And let's talk about all the different resistance lines on this play. Let's talk about UXIN and let's talk about why the stock got certain hype at different areas. So first things first is UXIN started going on a nice big rip. It got on a 20 count. Hey, we're aware of this play now, right? Now the stock comes up and we look at the past chart history pattern. Hits 485 once, hits 485 twice, hits 45 three times. That was all on Friday. Now we come up, we hit 45. Guess what happens? We have a pullback. Why do we have a pullback right here? It's because this stock, right, has a lot of resistance. Notice the big buying volume that comes through at the break of 485. 485 break is a great place for a possible entry. We're breaking through resistance and moving up to the next area. The stock breaks that 480 mark and boom, shoots all the way up to $5. And notice it shoots all the way up to $5 and comes back down towards around $5. This long upper shadow. Why $5 now? $5 is the third strongest resistance line in penny stocks, right? We broke the 45. Nice volume came on through. Hit $5. Then we had a little bit of a sell-off, right? Then the stock started moving back on up. Came up towards around 525. Natural resistance every 25 cents in the market. Stock starts coming back on down, bounces right around $5 because we know old resistance is going to hold up as new support. And the stock starts shooting back on up, right back up to 525. Now, what area do we know is going to be tough after 525? 537. 50-day moving average right here, 536, 50-day moving average on this play. So this stock breaks through 536, and guess what happens then? We continue to move on up. 550, another natural resistance line, a little U-shaped pattern, get a nice breakout, the stock starts moving. At this point as well, we can also say to ourselves, hey, you know what? We can add a trend line to the stock and basically just hold this stock until the stock goes from the bullish side to the bearish side. So we can just add that right there, and we can continue to hold this play basically until it cracks this trend line right here. But you could get on a bounce right here or hop in around here, and as long as it stays on the bullish side, you guys know that stock's going to be continued, going to be able to hold on up. The moment it cracks is where we're going to start seeing some selling as people are getting nervous that we may see that stock possible dump on off, right? Bullish, bearish. Right now, a stock is more setting itself up in a channel pattern now. So the stock is inside a very nice channel pattern, looking for a nice breakout and a possible nice rip. And when we have our channel patterns, as you guys know, what we're looking for are third touch breakouts. We're looking for consolidation. We're looking for the stock to be able to hold on up, be able to move sideways, and then for the stock to break out at a later time, right? That's all these channel patterns are. They're just basically the stock resetting. It's showing strength. Where basically the stock goes on a nice morning spike, we hit resistance and we have a sell off. Okay, cool. But the fact is, it's able to hold its gains. Give it another try. Give it another try. Usually, these best tries happen for the breakout on the third touch. So we have our one touch, we have our two touch, and we have our three touch. And you guys are fully aware of this. We've done our boot camp lessons on this, where we get our third touch breakout. We get our initial run up. If the stock dumps on off, hey, it's not worth your time. But the fact is, if it can find support, start moving back on up, comes back down, starts moving back up, usually the third touch is when we get our breakout. So in this case, we got our nice morning rip. It got its move on up towards around that 590 mark, came back down towards around 560, came back up to 590, back down now towards around 560. It needs the U shape on up right here. And if it can U shape all the way back on up right here, third touch, look at this. It's starting to get that little bit of a curl. And I think that could definitely happen maybe around 11 o'clock to 11:15, which is what I started with when I started this video off. So I think, that's, definitely some good potential. If it cracks this line though, that's when it's done. Okay, so if it's cracks this line, it's going to be over for a little bit. It could possibly come up this afternoon, but if you want to see the third touch breakout, it needs to start, making its way back on up. The best thing about this is that if you played it, you guys were banking. If you didn't play it, guess what? You know what? Who cares? You didn't miss out. You didn't lose any money. The thing is, what's also great about this is how predictable we're able to find these plays, right? A lot of people can't even find the top gainers. Obviously, stock trading it's broken down into a couple different main strategies, a couple different main things you need to be able to do. Number one, first thing, there are thousands of stocks out there. You got to be able to find the best top gainers. And just using our high of the day momentum scanner, I'm able to find the top gainers right away. Right away, I'm able to find the best top gainers. So I think that's crucial, and that's why you guys can go ahead and get yourself one off DekmarTrades.com. On top of that, guys, obviously I stream these scanners to you guys for absolutely free for just being part of our stream of Dekmar trades, which you can find on Tradecaster. So that's absolutely great as well. So number one is you got to find the hottest stock. Then from there, you guys got to know when to buy the hottest stock and when to sell the hottest stock, right? So you guys, to be a great stock trader, a lot of people always hit me up and they say, "Hey, what's your favorite pattern?" And I could be like, "Oh, my favorite pattern is red to green moves." And then all people want to do is learn that pattern, and that's all they want to play. But you are severely, limiting yourself if that's what you do, right? If all you do is just look for one pattern, you're going to be very, very lost. Because guess what? Usually we're going to see maybe a stock run up to 45, hit resistance, break 45, maybe form a U shape, then a trend line. Then we're going to be forming a channel for a third touch breakout. And you're like, whoa, Deck, slow down. What the heck was all that? All I know is red to green moves. Well, then you got to study more. Then you got to go after it a little bit more. Then you got to, be able to put some time into the boot camp video library section and, start, attacking it like that. Right. So, a lot of stocks, a lot of breakouts, they have multiple patterns inside them that I want you guys to learn. Right. Right now, we're getting a little iffy. Right now, UXIN getting a little iffy. We're looking for that third touch, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's happening right now. You got a 31K guy right at 549, though, that could definitely help hold this play on up. We'll see if he can hold on up. But again, the trend line getting a little bit scary right here, right on UXIN. But UXIN, what's great is, again, we're fully aware of this play by around the 570-ish mark, or excuse me, the 470-ish mark. The stock was able to spike another $1.30 from from that mark. And, there's been a lot of, great profits, being made on UXIN today. So that was an absolute great play. We also saw a little bit of hype over on HX, which was another stock that, had some nice ripping towards. It had a quick little trend line, dumped on off, quick little pop. And this stock, still has some potential. If this stock could ever start breaking on upwards, this you could say this is a little channel. I mean, But the thing is, when you talk about channels, guys, it's more on top gaining plays, the hottest stocks. Now, HX isn't a dead stock, and it's a stock that is up because it has a gap up towards it, but it's not the hottest stock in the world. Still something we can keep our eyes on. As we also talked about today, the SPY. Guys, the SPY is looking a little bit weaker. With the SPY falling, how does that affect penny stocks? With the SPY falling, guys, we are going to see a lot of volume get taken away from the penny stock world because people are going to be more focused on what? On our actual markets, the SPY, the NASDAQ. They're going to be maybe focused on their long term investments, right? They're going to be more focused on playing inverse ETFs, such as like TVIX or UVXY, stocks that are spiking even when the markets are falling. So, they could be a little bit more focused on that, right? So basically, there's a bigger concern rather than someone playing penny stocks right now, and that's how it is a lot of times, right? Right now, us as people, if we all buy the same stock, guess what happens? The stock moves up. If we all sell the same stock, guess what happens? The stock goes down. If we don't play a certain stock, guess what happens? Stocks don't move. So right now, the majority of penny stock traders are maybe focusing a little bit more towards the actual market, such as the SPY and such. Guess what happens? We're not going to see as many big time rips and big time spikes in the penny stock world until the markets recover, right? So it's just there's a bigger issue, at this moment than let's play penny stock. So that's kind of a real life analogy. I always try to help you guys out. Imagine like this. Imagine if there's two people, right? There's two people driving a car. One person gets a flat tire. One person gets a flat tire. The other driver, swerves, hits a ditch, flips his car, and the car is currently on fire. And there's still people inside the car. All right, a little bit dark on this analogy. I get it. All right, where do you think people are going to run to? People are going to run to help out the people that are in the car accident that's flipped and the car's on fire right now. The guy who has the flat tire is not going to be like, "Hello, why is no one helping me over here, huh? Can a guy get a little bit of help? I got a flat tire. Come on." That's basically like the penny stock world right now. The penny stock world is the guy with the flat tire. No, no one really cares about the flat tire right now. Everyone wants to kind of help the people that are kind of crashing and burning, over with the flip car, right? So that's kind of what's going on with the SPY. The SPY right now is kind of crashing and burning right now. So that's where everyone's kind of focused on because that's the bigger issue rather than basically the penny stock world that just doesn't really have too much volume towards it at this time, right? Flat tire guys is like, hey, come on, help me out here. But no one's really going to help them out at this time, right? So we're basically waiting for the SPY to adjust. We're waiting for the SPY to come back up to find some sort of balance for basically this stock or not the stock for this index to be able to find some sort of support before people start going over back to the penny stock world. So once the penny stock world happens, that's when we'll start to see some big time rips and big time volume towards it again. But UXIN has been an absolute great play so far. UXIN, this was a great, beautiful rip even with the SPY, near its lows, and definitely great job for everyone who played that stock so far. Unfortunately, it seems like UXIN is still a little bit weak, so that's why the start is starting to fall back on down. But the 20 count worked absolutely beautiful, and that's a beautiful strategy we have. Put that in your box of tricks, and you guys can go with that strategy whenever you guys see it. So absolutely awesome. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely let me know. Happy to help you guys out. And again, awesome job so far today.